Now I've gone back to Illustrator to open up my original file of numbers. And you'll notice that the height of all these letters vary. The height of these numbers all vary between number to number. And so some of them are smaller, like the 1 and the 0, the 10, and then 2 is smaller, 3 and 6, 5, 4, 7 are different. 7 and 9 extend below, 3, 6, 5, and 4 go above the extra X line above. Uh, 7 and 9 extend below the descender. And so should I have used Dito? For what I'm doing right now, I'm going to say no. And so part of my design choice is that when I start importing things, maybe I want to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, save it as a new version. Always version up, version 3 to version 4. Then I'm going to go to my character styles, select character style numbers is a style I made. I'm going to edit that at character style options. I'm going to pick the typeface, and I'm not going to use Dito, even though it fits Tale of Two Cities. And the reason why that I'm going to do it is not because it's not the, maybe it's not the best type for this. Maybe I think it is the best typeface. But for right now, my layout it's giving me difficulty in having size be consistent. So if I wanted all these to be consistent, I really should put in some other graphic inside my Illustrator file to help me line up so that I'm precisely at the exact size that we have here. And that's going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to pick good old Helvetica. And I can pick the different options. I also have Helvetica New, I think. And with that one, I have a lot more options, a lot more in the bigger family. And I can pick italic. I can pick thin, light. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go with thin. We're going to go with 300. Let's actually make 300 a little bit smaller. And I'm going to pick OK. And as I did before, I'm going to select all of these guys. Select them all. They're all selected. And then I'm going to move them up. But it's not really going to matter. I can just do it visually here to see what what you see, what you get. But so I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to save these guys. So file, save. So I did version up already. I'm just saving over that new version up. And I'm going to pick export, export as. I'm going to pick SVG on the bottom. And I'm going to use artboards, frame range. And as you guessed it, everything's going to be in the wrong order. So now let's say I could actually fix it. So I can go into each one of these individually, pick, and I'm going to pick 2. And so let me do these. And so I accidentally. Okay, so if I would have done this correctly at the very beginning, you can see it's going to save me time, not only here, but it's going to save me time when I export my files. So now one thing that I want to do is they're laid out nicely like that. And let me make sure my order here is adjusted. Because you see that I'm just ordering here for my convenience. Because the last time I exported, everything was in this order. But when I did the export, it looked at the document, the artboard, the way the artboard saw it. So I picked artboards when I exported, and then it exported it how the artboard saw it. It didn't export it in the layer order that I picked up here. So I saved over this file. I'm just did before. Okay, so I'm going to pick export again the correct way. Export as. Make sure I pick SVG. Some of you probably saw that, but you didn't tell me. You just let me go ahead and do it anyway. Export again. Export layer names. So I'm going to pick export. And there we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking at that number, and I'm also looking up here at the name as I arrow key down on my keyboard, and so they're correct. So the nice thing is that when I import now back into my program, it's going to be correct. And I want to pick the version 4, not the version 3. Now I'm going to take version 3 and I'm going to move these into my keepers folder. I'll probably kill them later. And I'm going to go back to Illustrator, quit my Illustrator file, save it. Yeah, I'll save it one more time. And then we're going to jump back into InDesign with these addressing these new changes.